There is significant news in the college women's basketball landscape, and it is in South Carolina as South Carolina starting forward Chloe Kitts went down with a torn ACL and she is out for the entire season. This is a large blow to the Gamecocks and their hopes for a 2026 national championship, losing a player who started 38 games last season, averaging 10.2 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 1.9 assists on 52% shooting. Is it end all be all, though, for South Carolina? I would say not. Chloe Kitts is an important player to the South Carolina Gamecocks, but I've seen headlines that say South Carolina star. Like, Chloe Kitts is not the star of the team. She is a role player on the team. She plays an important role on the team. She rebounds the ball, she's decent in the paint, but she's by far not a star. And we're going to talk about that on this edition of Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball, powered by Come On Now, the podcast where we talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Show. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, leave a comment. South Carolina, as we all know, last season lost in the national championship in devastating blowout fashion to UConn. And I don't think that there is a person on planet Earth that thinks that South Carolina is the favorite to win the national championship this year. UConn is a clear favorite, is the clear favorite to repeat as champions of the season, returning the likes of AZ Fudd, bringing in Sarah Williams, have Sarah Strong returning. It is a big time roster they have at UConn. But South Carolina is obviously one of the teams that could give UConn some problems potentially. So Chloe Kitts getting hurt is definitely not helpful to them in that regard. At the same time, they do have a team that comes back pretty with some good talent. They bring back Tessa Johnson. They obviously the people that love Raven Johnson, who I don't find very good, but there are people that swear by her. But most importantly, Joyce Edwards is going into her sophomore season. She was probably the best player on last year's team. And then you obviously have to include Taniyah Latson transferring over. The fact of the matter is Taniyah Latson is their top scorer, going to be their top scorer, going to be their top player. It's a huge pickup for them, especially when they lost Malaysia Fulwiley. But Taniyah Latson is a better player than Fulwiley, or at least has proven to be that on the basketball court. This injury, it hurts. It does hurt them. They did bring in Medina Olcott out of Mississippi State. That's a big pickup. She's a 6'6" senior, very tall. That's going to be a major impact for them. So having her also returning the likes of Adele Tech, who's a 6'5" forward, they do have size. It's not like last year where they didn't have the size that they had in previous seasons. They didn't have that real legit big that they've had with Camila Cardoso and Aaliyah Boston, and obviously previously with Asia Wilson. This team, though, is going to be good. They're going to be a contender, no doubt about it. This obviously hurts them somewhat in the role player sense. I don't think it's as devastating an injury in terms of the loss of the player. Like if you told me this was Taniyah Latson, I'd say, "Oh, y'all fucked." If you told me this was Joyce Edwards, I would say, "Yeah, that's big time situation." Joyce Edwards was their best post player last year. It wasn't Chloe Kitts. Joyce Edwards coming off the bench for a large part of the season, if not, yeah, every game except for one. She averaged 12.7 points per game. So I think it's going to be a big season for her. I find it interesting when I see the question about who are they pairing up with Tessa Johnson, when I think really the question is who are you pairing up with Taniyah Latson, because I think Taniyah Latson is their best player. So, I don't know what South Carolina fans are thinking or how they're feeling. Obviously, they're probably upset about this injury. It's obviously a disappointment for this young woman as she was a senior. I've seen stuff where people are were projecting her as a number one draft pick. I don't see it. I don't see it. That's where things get crazy to me when you got people projected as number one draft picks who, to me, are role players in college, serviceable role players in college. Chloe Kitts is not a star. She is not the star of the team. She is not even probably the third best player on the team. Like right now, look at their roster. Their roster right now consisting of Joyce Edwards, Raven Johnson, Tessa Johnson, Tanaya Latson, Medina Okot. She might be the fifth best player in the starting lineup. I mean, I'm just being honest. She might be the fifth best player in the starting lineup. So it sucks for her, and I feel bad for her, but I don't think this has the destructive impact. You know, I don't think that this has the destructive impact that people might want to make it seem like it does. We're going to be doing a lot more women's college basketball as the season gets closer. We're about 3 weeks out from the beginning of the season. We will drop some opinions on the different teams that are in the conversation, and we will be covering, the UConn, South Carolina, Notre Dame, Texas, UCLA, USC, etc. We'll be looking at those teams of note that have a legitimate chance to win a championship throughout this season. And of course, we'll be involved in conversations about the transfer portal after the season. So you can get your women's college basketball information right here on Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. We talk facts over feelings. Again, I think my feelings are based on facts. Chloe Kitts it's tough to lose her, but is it devastating? Is it the end of the world? Not so much. It really isn't the end of the world for South Carolina to lose a 10-point and 7.5 rebound player per game. She's their third best post. She's their third best player in the post, maybe fourth. She's a starter, but she's a starter who's she's not better than. But think about this: Joyce Edwards didn't start last year. I don't know that anyone would argue that Chloe Kitts is better than Joyce Edwards. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments, South Carolina fans. How do you feel about this injury? Obviously, I'm sure you're kind of upset, but I mean, overall, does it make you lose your mind? Like, oh no, the sky is falling, or you're like, okay, move on. Let's find the next one to come up and step up and play. Because it's not like she's a 6'6" big. She's a 6'2" tweener power forward. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. This is Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. We talk facts for feelings.